about to end, and every one of us will agree that this has been the year for the sporting world, for the cricketing world, and for us as well. If somebody would ask me, how would you define a journey? I would definitely say what the Indians had in the Euro 2025. Because we have had so many beautiful moments that we will cherish them for like forever. Moments that has been written down in the history in the gold. Those moments really showed us how beautiful it feels when dreams do come alive. But at the same time, we saw our Indian test side struggling, fighting for their identity. And I believe this is how a complete and a real journey looks like. So before this year ends, let's relive all those moments from the very start to the very end. तो इस साल की शुरुआत हमारे लिए अच्छी नहीं रही. वी लॉस्ट द बॉर्डर गवास्कर ट्रॉफी. और वो सीरीज़ इतना डिसहार्टनिंग इसलिए था क्योंकि हमें ना टेस्ट क्रिकेट में डोमिनेंट रहने की आदत हो गई थी. पिछले 2 सालों से हम ऑस्ट्रेलिया जाकर बीजीटी जीतते आ रहे थे, एंड दिस कुड हैव बीन आवर थर्ड कंसेक्यूटिव टाइम. लेकिन द गेम वाज कंप्लीट डिफरेंट दिस टाइम. टीम ने वो फाइटिंग स्पिरिट शो नहीं की, टीम में वो इंटेंट नहीं दिखा, एंड एज अ फैन दैट इज व्हाट वी लुक आउट फॉर. आफ्टर दैट हैपेंड टू द बिगेस्ट मोमेंट्स ऑफ द ईयर 2025. पहले रोहित शर्मा का रिटायरमेंट आता है, देन विराट कोहली का टेस्ट क्रिकेट से रिटायरमेंट आना. रोहित शर्मा का बीजीटी में परफॉर्मेंस वाज नॉट एट ऑल गुड, लेकिन उन्होंने इस सीरीज के बाद एक चैनल से बात करते हुए खुद कहा था कि क्या पता 5 महीने बाद बल्ला चल जाए. सो ही वॉज होपफुल. Also for Rohit Sharma, we all will agree that he is a phenomenal player, but he had some gaps to fill in this format. लेकिन विराट कोहली, he is someone who has redefined Test cricket for every one of us. He has made Test cricket exciting through his performance, through his captaincy at a time जहाँ पे T20 cricket was so dominant. और हम सबको पता है कि ये फॉर्मेट उनके लिए कितनी इम्पोर्टेंट थी. And then he comes up and says that he's giving up on Test cricket, a format that is so lovable to him. और वो रणजी खेल कर आए थे. For a player like Virat Kohli to go and play Ranji shows how dedicated and committed he was for this format. And then what happened in the span of 2 months, we don't know, and we will never know. That will remain one of the biggest questions for every one of us out there. And that was the transformative phase of the Indian Test side. And with that comes the transformative series, that is India versus England. I personally watched that series and I think it was a good one. The young team showed their spirit. They were phenomenal. और अगर वो लॉर्ड्स का टेस्ट मैच would have been on our side, if luck would have been on our side and the ball would not have rolled down the stumps for Siraj, then things would have been completely different. वो सीरीज हम जीत गए होते, then ये जो टेस्ट क्रिकेट का नैरेटिव है for the year 2025 would have changed, would have been completely different. But what happened after that was even more disheartening. For a team like India to lose a away test series is itself, so out of the world after being so dominant. And for them to lose a home test series raises so many questions on their identity, and that is what happened. They lost a test series against South Africa. We know that they are the champions of the World Test Championship, but India has been very dominant. India is a very good test cricket team. But this time, they were completely clueless. It felt like they surrendered themselves. And that has raised so many questions. That has raised so many questions on their identity as a dominant team. And they really need to come up with solutions in the coming year. Because 2026 में we don't have test matches in the early months. It only starts in the August against Sri Lanka, so we really do have time to introspect everything, and we really need to. But 2025 gave us some of the most beautiful moments, so let's talk about that. First one being the Champions Trophy. 12 साल का लंबा इंतजार खत्म हो गया था, and it felt like finally the happy times of ICT has returned. क्योंकि 2024 में हम T20 वर्ल्ड कप जीत गए थे, 2025 में हमने चैंपियंस ट्रॉफी जीत ली थी. And if you keep the test team aside, 2025 has been the changing year for the Indian side. Whether it be women's, whether it be men's cricket, they have been so dominant at the global level. Take the example of Champions Trophy. Being a global event, it never felt like one for the Indian side because they were so dominant all through the tournament. It was so easy for them to win matches. Everyone was so good. Virat Kohli was so good against Pakistan, against Australia. Rohit Sharma leading from the front in the final against New Zealand. It was so good to watch. Shubman Gill was so good all through the tournament. Shreyas Iyer was phenomenal. And everything was going so good for the Indian cricket team. And then comes another beautiful moment, the Indian Premier League. 18 साल का सपना पूरा हो गया था for Royal Challengers Bengaluru. To see Virat Kohli crying in that moment on the field has to be a moment that was filled with so many emotions that you could not even describe it in words. Because for a person who has given everything to a franchisee for the past 18 years for a dream, and to finally see him living that dream, nothing can be more beautiful than watching a dream become a reality. And that is what we saw that day. And I believe that anyone who is not even a fan of Virat Kohli could not have stopped their tears to roll down their eyes. And that was the magic of that moment. Another shocking event, but not a good one. रोहित शर्मा वॉज रिमूव फ्रॉम द ओडीआई कैप्टनसी. एक ऐसा फॉर्मेट जो उनके लिए इतना इंपॉर्टेंट था, और एक ऐसे कप्तान जिन्होंने पिछले 2-3 सालों में हमें 2023 के ओडीआई वर्ल्ड कप के फाइनल में लिए गए थे, हमें 2024 T20 वर्ल्ड कप जिताया, हमें चैंपियंस ट्रॉफी जिताया. एंड ही वॉज रिमूव फ्रॉम द ओडीआई कैप्टनसी. एंड वी ऑल नो कितनी शिद्दत से रोहित शर्मा वो 2027 का वर्ल्ड कप एज अन कैप्टन जीतना चाहते थे. बट वी ऑल्सो नो द रीज़न बिहाइंड ऑल ऑफ दिस. बट वॉट वॉज मोर डिसहार्टनिंग फॉर मी, जो सवाल उठाए जा रहे थे रोहित शर्मा पर, विराट कोहली पर, उनके कमिटमेंट पे, उनके परफॉर्मेंस पे, उनकी अवेलेबिलिटी फॉर द 2027 ओडीआई वर्ल्ड कप. आई मीन, दो ऐसे प्लेयर जिन्होंने पिछले 10-15 सालों में इंडियन क्रिकेट टीम की पूरी नैरेटिव चेंज कर दी है, उन पर इतने सवाल उठाए जा रहे थे. एंड आई थिंक दैट इज़ वाई दीज टू प्लेयर्स आर द बिगेस्ट नेम्स, क्योंकि उन्हें पता है कि उन पर सवाल उठाए जाएंगे. एंड they know how to perform each and every time, and that is what they did. They scored runs every time, again and again. Against Australia, Rohit Sharma was so phenomenal. I mean, every one of us saw vintage Rohit Sharma, those pull shots. But in the very early days of me watching cricket, people used to say that Rohit Sharma is someone who plays effortlessly when he plays, and Virat Kohli is someone who gives everything. I mean, in the game to each and every ball. And I never used to understand that. But now when I watch cricket so closely, you see it in the game of both the players. Rohit Sharma is so effortless, and Virat Kohli is someone who gives everything to each and every ball. And he tells us, he teaches us that no matter what happens, if you love something, you have to give your everything to that at each point of time, no matter what happens. That is what he did. Against Australia, things were not going good for him. Already there were so many questions around him, और उनकी लगातार 2 consecutive ducks आ जाती हैं. And Virat Kohli is known for comebacks. इसलिए उन्होंने against South Africa, he smashed consecutive centuries. How beautiful it is now कि you get 2 ducks, you get 2 centuries. What could be a more beautiful comeback story than this? In fact, वो third ODI match में भी century आ जाती, only the guns were shot. And now comes the most amazing moment of the year 2025. The ODI World Cup champions, the women's Indian cricket team. Even when I say this, it all feels so magical, because a team who is fighting for their identity, a team who is trying to do something magical, and no matter what they do, it is not happening. And the people around them who should have been their supporter, they are questioning their worth, they are questioning their identity, and they're even saying that these girls should not play for our country. Imagine the mental situation that must be going on in their mind. And yet they decide that no matter what happens, no matter if we have any supporter or not, we're going to show up. And they did. And when you show up, magic is bound to happen, and it happened in the most magical way. They defeated the mighty Australia in the semi-final. And the hero, Jemima Rodriguez, who herself was going through something so vulnerable all through the tournament. And these moments makes you realize that shayad it is all written in the destiny by God. क्योंकि इस वर्ल्ड कप की शुरुआत से पहले हरमनप्रीत कौर ने कहा था कि शायद ये उनका आखिरी वर्ल्ड कप है, शायद अगली बार वो इतना नज़दीक ना आ पाए। And exactly at 0-0, it was Harmanpreet Kaur. It was World Cup in her hands. It was her dream in her hands. और उस मोमेंट में ना वो सारे सैक्रिफाइस फ्रॉम द वेटरन प्लेयर्स, फ्रॉम द सीनियर प्लेयर्स, इट ऑल बिकेम वर्थ इट. एंड आई थिंक this has to be the magical moment of the year 2025. It was the moment that changed something, that changed the way women's cricket will be seen in our country. And then comes the announcement of the T20 World Cup squad for the men's team. Shubman Gill, the vice captain, was removed because of his poor performance. And even the captain Surya Kumar Yadav has been not in the form, and we really do hope that he comes up when the team needs him the most. And this time we cannot question the selectors, they have been so good. This is a complete package, and this is the team that can defend the title at the home ground at Ahmedabad. Sanju Samson is in the squad finally. Ishan Kishan has made his comeback, and with his story, the selectors have said that we are looking at the domestic circuit, आप वहाँ पे perform करो, we are going to take you in the team. Also, Ishan Kishan's story feels so personal. After his contract was taken, he has been so consistent in the domestic team. हाल ही में सैयद मुस्तक अली में उन्होंने अपनी टीम झारखंड को पहली बार ट्रॉफी जिताई by smashing a century in the final. रिंकू सिंह ने डोमेस्टिक सर्किट में इतना अच्छा परफॉर्म किया है. He is in the squad. Unfortunately, Jitesh Sharma misses out. He was doing everything right, but at this point of time, we have so many good players that it is bound that some of them will get unlucky. And also, इस साल की scouting has been completely different. अगर IPL 2026 की बात करते हैं तो what the one thing that really stands out is the scouting of the Chennai Super Kings. They have been a team जो हमेशा से experienced player को लेते हैं, but this time they have completely changed their philosophy. They have gone for crores for the young team, for the young lads, for the uncapped Indians, and even other teams. They have, rather than foreign players, they have gone out for the young Indian team. So yeah, that is it for the 2025 season wrap. And in the coming 2026 year, we have so many events. We have Women Premier League coming up, we have World Cup coming up, we have Women's World Cup coming up, we have IPL coming up. So it is going to be a cricketing year. Thank you so much for watching.